Good evening. This is Rev Folklore. Welcome to today's episode of Rev Folklore Reviews. I would encourage you to grab some warm black coffee for your cold, dark hearts, because today we are going to be taking a look at This Next Song is About Death by Leper. Oh, hello. I was just coloring my black nails with this black Sharpie. Leper, in case you don't know, is a gothic rock band from Chicago, Illinois, fronted by vocalist and guitarist Scott Shaw. I've seen them live at least a dozen times, if not several dozen times over the past decade or 2 decades. And I've played shows with them a handful of times as well. Over this time, I've watched them go from a pretty good, solid genre act to one of my favorite live bands in general. I really have no idea how many albums Leper has released over the years. I got online to try to answer this question, and looking at the internet, there's somewhere between 4 and 30 releases, full-length EPs, remixes, side projects. But however many albums they've put out, well, at least since the time that this video was made, their latest album from Gurr Records is This Next Song is About Death, which for anyone who has been following the band for some time is both fitting and a little bit funny, that title is. Since that's how Scott has introduced about half of the songs of her live set for a while. The album starts out with the eerie and experimental Prayer of the Lord, which is sung in what I'm guessing is Gaelic, though I could be mistaken. Anyway, I feel it's a really good setup for the album. Then it goes into the song Where Is Thy Sting, a song that I feel showcases a lot of the best elements of this album that you're going to see going forward. I really like the synth and guitar parts that are matched by Scott's voice and the great shout-along group vocals and on the choruses, and also the flourishes of flute that really give the track a lot of texture. Something I've really been enjoying about this album is how it manages to balance this sort of urban, industrial, or maybe post-industrial tone with the heavy synths and crunchy electric guitars and the trudging drums, along with a more grounded and earthy feel that comes along with the inclusion of flutes and strings and acoustic guitars. It's just a really nice balance of that kind of dark, earthy fall sound and that the city has fallen apart sound, that both of which are really nice. As someone who's been following Leper for quite some time, there's not really anything on this album that's a big surprise to me or caught me off guard. And that's not a bad thing at all. Quite the contrary. There are not really any radical departures or hard turns here. What I see on this album is more of a gradual but solid evolution of the band. And maybe that brings me to one of the kind of subtle differences that I see here. Even though Scott plays half of the instruments on this record, and I'm sure wrote most of the material on this record, Leper in their live presentation and general sound are starting to feel, to me, much more like a solid band and a little less like a rotating cast of musicians that are around a solo project, and that's pretty cool. The album offers up some good songs in Skeleton Hands, Good Night, and Watch for Romance Die, but I feel that there's some really strong highlights on this record. songs like Where Is Thy Sting, which I already talked a little bit about, the goth rock anthem of 13 Silver Bullets, of a great hook in the song Beneath the Sun, and the mesmerizing Changeling. It has this nice chant part on it. And also the meditative song You Are Holy, even though it reminds me slightly of an Insomniac Folklore song. Leper is an act that draws a lot from themes of struggle and despair, but they also are very much centered around redemption and the idea of resurrection. The albums in their back catalog are also pretty consistently solid, and this album is not an exception. There is enough substance here that you'll be rewarded more and more upon repeated listens. Leper is a great live act with a solid presentation that I personally think deserves a lot more attention and a lot more recognition than they've had. They've been doing this a long time. Scott's been turning out quality records for years, and the band has done nothing but improve. Like I said earlier, they've gone from what I think is a solid genre act to a really good show. Their presentation, their costumes, their props, it's all really good. So if you ever get the chance to see Leper live, I strongly recommend you do that. Particularly if you like the music, but if you just want to go see something interesting live, that might be a good way to be introduced to them as well. So yeah, a band that deserves a lot more attention and recognition. Just don't tell them I said that. So in conclusion, if you want to listen to some gothic rock that is less maybe on the commercial industrial side, like say Marilyn Manson, Rob Stein, Rob Zombie, and listen to something that's a little more in the vein of classic darkwave and death rock stuff, more like Eva O, Christian Death, Bauhaus, The Cure, with some touches of Pink Floyd here and there. Or if you just want to try something different, Leper is definitely a good choice for you. So yeah, check them out. I'll include some links below if you want to listen to them or purchase this album that I just touched on here. Other than that, please like this video if you liked it, comment, subscribe, all that helps out a lot. Also, if you want to support this channel and my band, please consider joining us on Patreon or find us on social media. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you next time.